to share with you. It won't take long, and it's going to be worthwhile. I promise. I have a dream of one day becoming a professional race car driver. So when I get bored or have nothing to do, I'll be driving this invisible race car of mine, holding the steering wheel, shifting this invisible gear stick. Sometimes I even make car noises too, like vroom, something like that. You get the picture. I form images, sounds, feelings, vibration, the speed, all that stuff up in my own head, without having to experience it firsthand, of course. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is imagination. It fulfills our desires that cannot be fulfilled in reality. I cannot afford to drive a race car, but I can imagine myself driving one. At a higher level, imagination itself works as a key to our inner potential that allows us to solve unusual problems in tough, rough situations. People with imagination think extraordinarily. They think outside of the box. If you give me or someone with imagination a maze puzzle, we will be turning the paper upside down, start writing lines across the whole page, doing weird things, things that normal people don't do. And that is because we see problems the way normal people don't see. People with imagination see solutions that aren't there. They reach out to the unknown and push the boundaries of reality to the ragged edge. People with imagination make the impossible possible. Imagination at a higher level itself allows us to wonder about the world around us. It makes us make up questions as to how things can happen, how things can be improved, or even how things can be created. Simply take a quick look around you. The chairs you're sitting on, the cell phone that the lady at the back is playing, or even this whole hall. Everything is the work of someone's imagination one way or another. If it weren't for imagination, Henry Ford wouldn't have changed the face of automotive history. He did not invent cars, but he had this picture in his mind of everybody being able to own a car. You don't have to be rich, you don't have to be powerful. You just be your average Joe and own a car. That's exactly why he introduced this production line system that allowed cars to be made cheaply, and he, consequently, made cars accessible to the mass. People called guys like him crazy, but trust me on this, it wasn't craziness. It was imagination at its best. At this point, you may stand up and argue that, hey, it can't be imagination. It was knowledge, because without knowledge, guys like that would just be a bunch of daydreamers. It was knowledge that was the key. Well, sir, you can have a seat, and let me put it like this. Imagination tells you where you have to go, which direction you should be headed. It defines your goals. It sets your destination. But on the other hand, knowledge tells you more about details of how to get there. It tells you about the path to your destination. But I believe back in the early 1900s, there were lots of people with the right knowledge as to how to build an airplane. But somehow, there were only two men from Ohio who had the right imagination. And that's exactly why Wilbur and Orville Wright conducted experiments, did researches, and finally succeeded in building the world's first functional airplane. It was imagination. If you only have imagination, you will strive for the proper knowledge to get the job done. You will gather the right materials to build your path to your destination. But if you only have knowledge, you sure will be smart, you sure will be intelligent. But because you don't have a destination, you don't have a goal, you won't be going anywhere. Imagination is the key player here, not knowledge. Knowledge is just imagination's sidekick. Knowledge is just Batman. Oh, sorry, knowledge is just Robin, while imagination is Batman himself. Knowledge may be important, but it wouldn't have been there in the first place without imagination. And with everything being said, therefore, I am confident to say that imagination, by all means, is more important than knowledge. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Sirawich Bhunsang. If he wins, it will save you cost. You doesn't have to be in London, you can just imagine himself in London. Thank you. A question, please.
Can you ever have too much imagination?
Well, yes. You mean, are we talking about the bad side of having too much imagination?
I don't know. Are you talking about the bad side?
No, I was only talking about the good side.
Well, my question remains: Can you have too much imagination?
Having too much imagination is only when you have imagination but you don't do anything about it. Having too much imagination is a syndrome that is widely known as daydreaming, and that is when you have too much imagination. Yes, of course it can happen. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Sirawich Bhunsang from Ratwinit Bangkaeo School. And next we have Samutprakarn from Ratwinit Demonstration School.
น้องเคยอยู่อเมริกาไม่เคยค่ะไม่เคยค่ะเรียนเมืองไทยตลอดใช่ค่ะแล้วคุณครูที่ราชวินิตเขาเรียนหลักสูตรไหมเขาเรียนยา MEP ใคร MEP นี่ยังไม่ได้ปิดเลยนะลูก
ไม่เป็นไรครับ